Hello, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to do my completion review of the diamond painting of this image here. It's called North Spirit by Lex Zooz. It's from Crafties. I paid $32.98 and this was, I think, after I made my purchase I had a $10 off coupon and then I had to pay for $3 for shipping, so that's where the $32.98 came from. It's tiny bit smaller than the 40 by 40. It's on poured glue with round drills and rhinestone drills, and there were DMCs. There were 28 colors in all, 3 of them being rhinestone drills, and this took me 6 days to complete, and here it is. Well, let me move you up, move down there. So here it is. So I think overall this turned out really, really good. I think my first Crafties, I think the image was too busy for the size they had done it. It was like a 30 by 50 and it was a busy image. While this one is a 40 by 40 and I think the image, it's a good size for the image. So I think this one turned out much better than my first one from Crafties. So I did add, so I'm not sure what you could see. I don't know how well the rhinestones show up, but the original rhinestones on this diamond painting were these pink ones here. These are pink rhinestones. Maybe zoom in a little bit. So yeah, these are pink rhinestones, those who came with it, and these green and these like turquoisey and these kind of yellow-green drills. These are the original rhinestones that came with it. I did add my own rhinestones. See this highlight around the elk? That's my own rhinestones that I added. I just kind of wanted to make the elk glow more, so I'm emphasizing the elk because the elk is glowing in the video. I mean, in the picture. So I wanted to highlight the glowing of the elk, so I did add my own rhinestones here. And I also, on the elk's antlers here, I did use some black ABs, and then these are blue rhinestones, so like dark blue rhinestones. I don't know if you could tell. But yeah, no, I did do some extra blinging up there because I don't know, that's what apparently I do. I can't do a diamond painting anymore except without thinking, what else can I do to this diamond painting? Because I don't know, that's what makes, I think after you've been diamond painting a while, you feel like you need to challenge yourself, or I don't know. It's just kind of fun to add your own stamp to the diamond painting. So even though you're doing like a mass-produced diamond painting, well, I don't know how mass-produced Crafties is, since they are still, I guess, a smaller diamond painting company that does the licensed images, it just kind of adds your own stamp on the diamond painting. So that's why I like to do my own blinging up. So yeah, yeah, that's, what else did I say? Okay, so so I kitted this up a long time ago, and I actually kitted it up with another diamond painting. It's this one. So the other one was my other Crafties that I had finished earlier, and then this is this one here. So I did say the 310s were trashy, but is it like one of those things that we kind of just expect? So and then 943 and 3812 looked exactly the same. Okay, so when I was diamond painting this, these two colors were like right next to each other on the diamond painting, and then I started thinking I was doing something wrong because I could not tell the difference. I can't tell. They look exactly the same color. So I went to look at it in my stash, and when I looked at the ones that were in my stash, they are very similar in color. So I could see why these are like the same color, but it just kind of felt dumb then to diamond paint both of these as separate symbols, and when they're I seriously can't. Like, I was diamond painting and I was like putting them right next to each other and I could not tell the difference. So that just seemed like a wasted color. But I have, yeah, I don't know what kind of computer generation this gets done, but yeah, these look exactly the same. So yeah, it was just one of those things. I was diamond painting one and I diamond painted the other and I'm like, these look exactly the same. And it was kind of annoying me because then I could have just multi-placed this sucker. Um, And then there were a couple symbols that were a little hard to distinguish from each other. This is X and K. Okay, so you could kind of see that on my labels, they're not the clearest because I scanned the legend and then put it on my own sticker paper. So one of my next comments is that the symbols were a little blurry on the canvas. So so these were really hard to read. This is X and K. They look very similar on the canvas, and for whatever reason T and Y look really similar too. So this is what I was saying, that the canvas print was not the best. It was actually like this top portion was really hard for me to do. It might look like color blocking, but this might be that those two colors that I was saying look exactly the same. But it was kind of hard to do because the symbol clarity was not the best. So I've found that I think that when the symbol clarity is not the best, it's usually a disconnect between the canvas material and the ink that they're using. So I don't know what they're using for the canvas and what they're using for the ink, but it was not easy to read some of the symbols that were the black color lettering, because they just weren't the clearest. And this is very kind of almost monochrome colors, not that they're very similar colors. So lots of times when symbols are hard to read, it's usually okay for me because then I have the color as a backup. Like if the X and the K were two complete different colors, I would have the color as a backup to distinguish between them. But when they were very similar in color, I don't have that backup to do the distinguishing. So yeah, no, this one I did have I did have a hard time diamond painting some of this. Maybe if I took out a light pad, it might have been easier, but I don't use a light pad. But it was not so bad that I felt I had to take out the light pad. It was just one of those kind of, it was a little difficult to like see it right away. You had to pay attention a little bit more when you were diamond painting it. But then I'm thinking, I might not have even noticed if I messed up because the colors are very similar. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I had any problems doing this. I did just recently unbox another Crafties that I got sent as a review, and I am also now an affiliate for Crafties. I do like a lot of their images, and I like that they make their diamond paintings not massive. So they're my size type of diamond paintings. I don't tend to do the massive diamond paintings. But the new one that I had gotten the drills came in baggies. So I'm hoping that means that they are on their way to making things better, because I always want diamond painting companies to increase their quality, make things better, because I am a diamond painter too. So I want to be able to enjoy the diamond painting process. So So I'm hoping that their symbol clarity is better in their newer ones. I don't recall from looking at the new one I got, I don't recall anything being that hard to read, but I don't remember anymore. But yeah, so for this one, the symbol clarity was kind of eh. But overall, I think this looks really beautiful, and I'm happy with the result. So yeah, I'm just going to now just cut it out and put it into my art portfolio. I don't really have plans to put this up on my wall or anything. So I'll get my skizzers here. Just gonna cut it out and put in my art portfolio. I wonder if Crafties is going to start doing squares, because although I don't know if they want to do squares, because squares are very difficult, I think, to get done well, because I have yet to do a square that is on poured glue that does not have gapping. So, or I have yet to do a square, yeah, that's on poured glue that does not have gapping. All of my least gappy squares have been from AliExpress, and they've been on double-sided adhesive, which I don't mind. I don't know why people hate on the double-sided adhesive as much as they do, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it that much. So maybe because, I don't know, I just don't see why it's such a big deal to be on double-sided adhesive, because I've done so many. Okay, I cut out the legend so that I could put it on my portfolio book, you know, on the off chance that I look at this again and something's missing. And then I don't have to just like guess what color to put in there. And it has happened where I've looked at something and be like, oh my gosh, there's something missing. Because I don't seal my diamond paintings unless I have to, because sealing, I don't enjoy it. I don't know, does anyone enjoy sealing their diamond paintings? Because I don't. It might be a necessary evil, but I don't enjoy sealing, so I don't usually do it unless I have to. And I usually only do it when it's going to be displayed outside of glass or any sort of protective covering. So usually just the specials. And I also usually seal my partial diamond paintings, just because usually there's excess sticky outside of the sections that are diamond painted, and well, you know, there's no drills on it, so it could just gain fluff. And this is why I also cut these out, just because there is excess sticky on the edges here. And plus I think they just look nicer with the black background on my portfolio book than having just, I could technically just stick this into my portfolio book as is without cutting it out. But no, I want it to look pretty. I spent all this time doing it. I want it to look pretty. There's no reason for me to keep these white edges other than just not wanting to cut it out. I'm trying not to cut because there's some drills that are, like when you're cutting these sometimes, I've actually cut a piece of the drill off before, like cutting the edges. So I'm just trying not to cut the piece of the drill off. Okay. But yeah, usually I have less complaints in round drills, because you have to be really bad. You have to be a really bad diamond painting company to do a round drill badly. Because even if the drills were kind of meh quality, unless they were too small, you could usually just kind of use the meh quality drills and still be fine. Squares, you can't really get away with bad quality drills. It's obvious. And I think this is why a lot of people don't do squares. But then there's also a lot of people that don't do rounds. Apparently I do everything. So I find that there are good things and bad things about both of them. Like, after doing a round, you're like, wow, it's so much sparkly. Because rounds are sparkle, I think, a lot more than, the rounds sparkle a lot more than the squares, because rounds kind of twinkle in their sparkle while squares kind of just do a shimmer. And the twinkling in a round is like beautiful. So sometimes I'm wondering like why in the world I bother doing squares. But for whatever reason, I think I enjoy diamond painting, the diamond painting process more for squares, when they're good. Which is like hard sometimes. But yeah, when the squares like fit so like nicely together, it's just such an enjoyable process. And then I wonder if folks who don't like squares is because they got a gappy square, and they're like, why do people enjoy doing squares? And I'm on the why are diamond painting companies so afraid of gapping? So afraid of popping. Okay, so I've just put some double-sided tape on the picture here, and then I have this 18 by 24 inch construction paper, black construction paper I got on Amazon. So I'm just going to center it as well as I can. Just eyeballing it because I guess you could also measure it if you really care. I'm on the I don't care that much if it's a little off, because no one's gonna go with a measuring ruler and measure it. At least I don't think anyone would. And if I visually cannot see it being off, then it's fine. But I did used to measure them. It was kind of, yeah. And then I was like, why am I putting all this effort? Okay. So now it's on my paper here, and I'll take out my new art portfolio. I actually just got a new one here. And I actually went and got my old one, and I started just putting everything single-sided, so I only have one diamond painting per sleeve. Just because this thing gets really heavy. When I had like a little bit more than 20, I think I had about like 28 pictures in my other one. It was so heavy that I couldn't see myself putting 48 in there. So now there's 24 sleeves in here, so I'm only gonna put at most the 24. But I do have, I think my other crafties is in here. So yeah, here is the other crafties. It's upside down, but you see it, right? There's my heaven and earth designs. Oh, and I also, if I frame something, I decided to start leaving a page in here. So that when I take it out of the frame, it has a place to go, because I kind of want this in order. I don't know why, but I want them in order of me completing them. And I've been putting the older ones in the back and the newer ones in the front, mainly because I didn't want to have to like lift up the finished ones because it's heavy. So I figured it's better to put the new ones on top so I don't have to lift up the heavy used sleeves. So yeah. So here's the next one, and I'm going to slip it in here. Okay, very big art portfolio, although I wish they made a slightly bigger one so that I could start, like, I think I would have preferred that they had one that was a 20 by 28, so then I could do the 50 by 70s. Because I think I think 50 by 70 is a good size. It's big enough, but not so ginormous that I wouldn't want to do it. But yeah, there it is in my art portfolio. And that's all I have for today. So thank you for watching and happy diamond painting. Bye!